No, it's definitely a great metaphor. Like, I have applied, I feel like, all the lessons I've learned in cross country into my, like, actual life. Like, school life, personal life, like, challenge yourself. Like, that's kind of, like, my mentality is, like, you'll be in a practice and you'll, like, be running and you're like, I can't do this. Like, my legs cannot physically move anymore. And then, like, you'll complete it and be like, wow, I just did that. And that made me so much better. Like, I think that's very important to put into, like, school, too. Like, you can be in a hard class and be like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I'm never going to finish this. But, like, you can't have that mentality. Like, you're going to come out better on the other side.
Welcome to the Thriving in the Middle podcast. Believe it or not, I chose to spend the rest of my life in middle school. I've been teaching for over 19 years, and my primary goal can be boiled down into one task: developing human potential. My three favorite educational words are autonomy, agency, and authenticity. There's nothing more authentic than hearing about the realities of middle and high school life directly from the students who have lived through it. Whether you're a parent looking for perspective, a teacher trying to better understand your students, or a student looking for some guidance, this podcast has something for everyone. The goal is not only to help you survive, but to thrive during this complicated time of life. Ready? Let's thrive together. Today we are joined by Lily Kronk. Lily is a senior at GHS and is part of the 2026 graduating class. I had the pleasure of having Lily in class just 4 short years ago in my ELA classroom. She wears a lot of hats at GHS. She's super busy, and so I'm glad she's taking a little time to come and talk to us. Hi, Lily.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So this is like resiliency because we had to reschedule this 3 times.
From the snow.
We had a snow, and I got really sick. I couldn't talk. I got whatever that thing is. Everybody's losing their voice. So thanks for sticking with it and showing up.
Yeah, of course.
Just a compliment to start, and also it's kind of like advice to anyone listening. You're a really good communicator.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you wouldn't believe how many emails I send out, and then I just wait and I wait, and I'm like, oh man, like maybe they didn't get it, maybe they don't check email, and so you are you replied to the emails. Your parents were great communicators. They replied back when I asked them some questions, and so thank you so much.
Thank you.
I feel like it's low-hanging fruit in the world right now. Like if you can just communicate with people, you've already like upped your game a little bit. So you're headed in good directions. All right, let's jump into it. So the first question, speaking of the many hats that you wear at GHS, you are the president of the National Honor Society. And I don't think we've talked about that on the podcast, the National Honor Society before. And so since you're the president this year, it seems like an appropriate person to answer. So what is National Honor Society, and why might somebody listening want to think about joining?
Yeah, so it's an organization you can join at the beginning of your junior year. You get inducted, basically. So it's an application. It's your character, volunteering hours, academics, all that stuff kind of all wrapped together. You can apply and you can be accepted. It's like you have to write multiple paragraphs and essays about like why you should be like chosen to be in the society. So it's all like, oh, I've done this volunteering, academically I'm ready, I've done mentoring in like high school, a lot of that stuff. So
you start as a junior, like you find out, like you enter in as a junior?
Yeah.
And so do you start applying as a sophomore, or is it all like junior year as the application process and then?
I mean, like, it's kind of like you have to get like a lot of volunteer hours for it.
Okay.
So it's like you can like start like sophomore year, like get those hours racked up and stuff like that.
So do you apply before your hours, or you have to like get all those things in a row and then you can actually apply once you've got like all your hours done? And
I think you turn it in once you have all those hours done.
Okay.
So usually it's like probably like September of like junior year, and then you like submit it all, and then they'll like the school, like there's like a committee of like teachers, I think, who picks like who's in the society and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then you go to like induction, you get inducted and all that stuff. But it's really cool. I'm the president this year, which has been really fun. So last year we actually started, as president last year we started a like program where I didn't like start this, but Mrs. Henderson kind of runs it. It's like where you have like an elementary mentor. So you get partnered up with an elementary student, which
how
is
fun.
Really fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And every week you go in for like an hour and you just kind of go hang out with your little. So I did it last year. I'm doing it this year as well. So
how do they partner? Is it just someone else is picking and like finding the little for you?
Yeah. So I think parents of the littles can request to have like, oh, like I want my like student to have like a mentor. And so they have a list and then we'll be like, oh, like these are my hobbies, and they'll pair us up. It's been really fun. Last year I had a 3rd grader. And she was really nice. It was so awesome. I go to like during my lunch period. I have like a longer lunch, and last year I went during like my study hall and lunch period, and I'll like have lunch and go to recess with
That's
her.
so much fun.
Yeah, it's like blast from the past. It's so fun. But
so not every there's not enough of you for every elementary student to have a mentor if they want one, right? So it's kind of just pick and choose, like people who apply to have a mentor.
Yeah. So last year they like had they didn't have like a ton of kids to do it, so they were like, oh, we'll just like try it, we'll do it. And then this year I think they had a lot of parents request it
on the elementary side. Yeah, I bet,
because it went great. A lot of kids loved it, and I think it really makes an impact in these kids' lives. Like coming to school, I can really see how like we're helping them become, maybe if they're like less social, we can help them be more social with their like peers, or like help them with like if they struggle with reading and all that stuff. I think it really does help a lot. Like I'll like go sit at lunch with my little, and I'll make conversation with her and have her interact with like her peers. I think really makes a really big impact.
Does the National Honor Society outside, like, do they do things together, like as a group, like people who are in the National Honor Society, or is it more of a, like, I've met the requirements and it kind of showcases that I'm capable of doing these things, and I've like, you know, I have all the things that I need to be in the National Honor Society, and then outside like this program, you're going out, but do they ever do things together, like as a group?
Yeah, so to be in National Honor Society, you have to have a certain amount of hours to like actually get like the cords at graduation and like graduate with that like honor. So there are like a lot of different opportunities, but the main one is like this, because it is like a volunteering opportunity. Yeah. Like you're taking a lot of time, like it's like an hour a week.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just like if you want to be part of this program, you can if you're in like the Honor Society. Some people don't do it. Some people will choose like different volunteering hours if they want to.
Gotcha. So there are opportunities, like you, even when in this mentorship part, you probably, there's groups of you that go over potentially at similar times.
Yeah.
And then colleges like to see that you're in that as well, right? Like it is a good thing as you're going off to college to say that I was in the National Honor Society. That makes you look good.
Yeah, it shows kind of all those characteristics that they're looking for.
Yeah, it's all the Portugal graduate things that you know that we celebrate that you had to do in order to meet all those requirements.
Yeah.
Cool. And then how about being a president? Is that an application? Like, did you like apply to be the president? Did someone nominate you? Like, how does that part happen?
So we like applied last year to be like an officer, and then I think Mrs. Henderson, she'll like kind of like go ahead and like pick who becomes what. There's like officers, there's like secretary, all that stuff. We meet like a couple times just to like talk about like these programs. Like this year we talked a lot about like kind of like formulating this program like different from last year, like what we want to keep the same, all that stuff. But yeah, I was like picked this year. So
that's awesome. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, so another hat that you wear at GHS is you're a part of the Women in STEM Club. Is that new? Has it been around for a while?
It was, so freshman year I didn't do it, but I've like heard of it. Sophomore year I joined, because like I had like some cross country friends that like led the group, and I really enjoyed it. So basically what we do, so like now I'm like one of the officers. It's like me and my two other friends. We run it and we kind of like create these events. So basically what it is like it's an all girls club. We talk about STEM, and what we do is like we'll invite like STEM professionals, like women in the STEM field, to come and talk. And then we go to this like event at the Works too. But it's kind of like a really good opportunity for like girls in high school that are like kind of thinking about, oh, maybe like I want to be in this like math centered like science field. Like it's literally anything. And I think a lot of people, like I know me, like I'm like, oh, like I want to be a doctor. But it's like, okay, what type of doctor? Like, do you want to be a doctor, or do you want to be an engineer in like the doctor field? Like it's so many different possibilities, and it kind of allows like students to like kind of look into that, like because like when you leave high school, like you pick your major, like it's very like, okay, like what do you want to do?
Sure.
But I think that opens a lot of like windows for like girls to be like, oh, like I kind of like talking to this engineer, like maybe that's something I want to do. Or
why is it important to have like a women in STEM instead of just STEM club? And I think because we have a similar, we have I think it's called like girls robotics. Like it's a robotics course at the middle school that only girls can enroll in. Like so why the emphasis?
I mean, it's like a pretty big minority. Like you look at the numbers, like just like in like, especially I feel like in engineering a lot, it's very low. Like in like big companies, like the employment of like female like engineers, it's just like very low. There's not many. So I think it's important to like empower these girls to feel like they can succeed in something that's like male dominated, and that they can do the same things, even though it's like a minority. It's not like super common.
Yeah, it's huge. And it's improving, but it's improving somewhat slow. But I think things like that and programs like that to encourage women is the reason that it's improving. So that's huge. And so you're bringing mentors and women from the STEM space in to talk to, aspiring women who are going to go out and pick majors to say like how they're successful. And so they can see themselves inside of those successful STEM careers. That's awesome. And man, I feel like I didn't have any exposure or idea to careers when I was going through high school, and you're going to then be, like you said, be asked to pick a major and then spend a whole lot of money. And so you don't want to get to your junior year and finally figure out what that major actually is, or talk to real human beings who are working inside of that space. And so that's huge that you're bringing these people in to be able to hear, what it is they do on a daily basis, and helping to shape and sort of steer your direction and what you think you might want to do. Yeah,
definitely.
That's cool. Any standout speakers? Anybody that's like come in that they, or maybe even advice they gave or something they said that you're like, oh, wow, that was good.
Yeah. So I just remember when I was younger, like I had like I feel like everyone just thinks like, oh, like I want to be like a doctor, or I want to be like just something. There's so many different branches of like there's so many different branches of what you could do. Like you could be like, oh, I want to be an engineer, but like there's so many different possibilities. Yeah. And my mom's like really good friend, I had her come and she did like a Zoom talk with us, and she's a civil engineer for this like company, and they build bridges. It's like so random, but it was so interesting. Yeah. Like just like the experience she's had. Like she's been able to travel like everywhere, like work with like crazy like companies to like make like infrastructure. And I thought that was something I wouldn't really be interested in. Like, okay, like you're just building a bridge, but it's so interesting, and like I was like, wow, like I maybe would want to like look into this more. Yeah. That was something I kind of like really liked.
That's such good advice. And I don't even know how to like, that's just scratching the surface. Like even inside of civil engineering, there are all these like careers and fields and different branches of civil engineering. And like, obviously you can get onto Google or ChatGPT, but our exposure in the world is usually what our parents do, and then maybe our parents' friends as kids. Like we get to talk to them and hear about their careers, and even that we probably don't get to spend enough time like going to their job or on site to see like what does that actually mean on a daily basis. So that's huge. I love that you're bringing people, that the club is bringing people in, and you get to actually hear from and like perfect advice. Double down on that. Like I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a scientist. Like what does that mean? And look deeper, because there's a vast array of things that could actually turn into.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. And to the alternative, you may think you want to be an engineer, and then you hear about it and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted to sign up for at all. Cool. All right. So if my research is correct, please correct me, but you were in cross country from grade 7th all the way through? Yeah. And 7th grade is the first year you can try out for cross country as a 6th grader coming in.
I think you can do like a run club in like 6th grade.
Yeah. And to anybody listening, like it's never too late to join cross country.
No, it's
because it's literally you're literally showing up and running and trying to improve on your previous time. Like so you can join that at any moment. Yeah. I've heard this on several podcasts that I've never been a part of cross country. Like I wasn't in it. My kids haven't been in it. But I've heard on several podcasts of people who are in cross country saying it's like the ultimate sport. And as far as from a team perspective, and then also from like it offers this beautiful mix of those two things. And that's like my extent of my scope. And so could you help us understand, like, what is it about cross country? Explain it to somebody that's never participated. Like, why is it a great sport? Why is it great for team? Why is it great for an individual?
Yeah. So I joined cross country because at the beginning of COVID, I was like a huge swimmer. Like I swam all the time. I did club swim. I loved it. And then I feel like it was like right at the beginning of COVID where like everything was shut down. I kind of was like at a burnout. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I was like kind of done. And
how long had you been a swimmer?
Like I probably since I've been like probably 8 years old, 7 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just like in the summer, and I did like club. Yep. It was kind of a big part of my life. And then once COVID shut everything down, I was like, okay, like, I don't know what to do. And I remember my friend. She was
did COVID shut down swimming? Like,
yeah.
You couldn't be in the pool area and stuff?
Because you can't be in a closed pool. And then it was winter. And
okay.
then they were like, you can't swim. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that. And then I was kind of like at my burnout phase. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I remember I had a friend. She was like, oh, like, you should join. Like, her sister did cross country. And I was like, I don't want to run for fun. Like, that doesn't sound like something I want to do. But then I joined, and it just was great. Like, that's like one of the best decisions I've ever made. Like, the coaches are amazing, the group is amazing, and it's so rewarding to show up every day. And you like, it's a hard sport. It's definitely hard. It's very mental, very physical, and you show up and you see your friends and you do something really hard. It's very rewarding, and then you see that improvement also in your times. It's like crazy to believe, like, wow, like, I'm like training and I'm completing all these things, like in races, like I can have a major PR and like, wow, like I just did that. It's very rewarding, and yeah, I'm so glad I did it.
I mean, I think it's such a metaphor for life, and
yeah.
I'm not I run, but I run more to be physically active and for health reasons. My wife loves to run, and I'm not, but I feel like it is this moment of like showing up and doing something really hard, and then when you're through to the other side, you look back and you're really glad that you did it. Like, I feel like that is kind of running sometimes in a nutshell. Like, it maybe never feels great when you start, but as you get into it, and then as you near the end, and then when you're done, you get to like look back and be like, wow, I'm so glad that I did that thing. And that's kind of everything in life a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a great metaphor. Like, I have applied, I feel like, all the lessons I've learned in cross country into my like actual life, like school life, personal life, like challenge yourself. Like, that's kind of like my mentality is like, you'll be in a practice and you'll like be running and you're like, I can't do this. Like, my legs cannot physically move anymore. And then like you'll complete it and be like, wow, I just did that. And that made me so much better. Like, I think that's very important to put into like school too. Like, you can be in a hard class and be like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I'm never going to finish this. But like, you can't have that mentality. Like, you're going to come out better on the other side.
Yeah. And it's okay that you had the thought originally that I can't do this. Like, that's very human and normal. And so don't like let that be the last thought. Like, then you have to like use your self-talk and go, nope, I'm having those thoughts and that's normal, but I'm going to push through and do this thing anyways. Do you know who David Goggins is? Mm-mm. Okay. He's a SEAL, a Navy SEAL who then like turned into a runner, kind of like, inspirational, but very like extreme.
Yeah.
But he talks about how like when we quit and when we think we hit fatigue, and I don't know the number, I'm going to mess this up, but it's like we've actually only tapped 60% of our potential. Like, there's actually this other whole side that you can unlock if you're willing to like actually push through to the other side. So how about in cross country? And somebody explained this to me and I couldn't explain it back again, but when they did a good job, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. In cross country, it's the scoring of it. There is a moment where like, even if you're not in the scoring team, like, you can still impact the score. Like, so there is this drive, there's a drive to like, you still want to do your personal best because you don't even know if that score might come in and be the thing that, like, how does that work?
So the scoring's really weird. So like, I also swim during the winter. It's very similar.
So you're still a swimmer?
Yeah.
Okay. So you paused that, but you went back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually like a great, I do it because like I want to stay in shape for like running, but it's also like I'm not running all the time.
So did you just swim? Like, were you just at the LCLs?
Yesterday,
like, you guys won.
Well, so that's what I was going to talk about.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Basically, scoring is really weird. So it's an individual sport, like totally, which is great. I love that part of it. But also, it's a very big team impact. Like, for both LCLs actually this year and last year, like the amount of points that mattered, it was like insane. Like, you could not let anyone pass you. You had to like get this person. It's like very down to like a T. When you think it's like, oh, like I'm just going to PR. No, like you have to like pass. Like our coach would always say like, oh, like if you see a green jersey, if you see an orange jersey, like you have to pass them. It's very team oriented in that way.
Yeah. And not doing that could decide for the whole team whether you're gonna win or not.
So yesterday, actually, we were.
Is that really a good pressure or bad pressure? Like, how does that feel? Like, that seems. I'm overwhelmed hearing that, but.
I compete like so much better with pressure, which is like not comfortable for me. Like, no, it's not comfortable for anyone. But I like anytime I'm like stressed, it's not in like a good way, you know, or like have pressure on me. Like, I swim and run like great. It's so weird, but I like it. I don't know, like running off adrenaline. But actually, yesterday, like. We were really, like, neck on neck with Watkins, like, the swim team. And, like, it just back and forth. Like, we'd be ahead of them. They would be ahead by, like, 2 points the whole time. And then at the very end, like, it was so quick. it was like so close, and like we had this relay, and we were like, okay, we have to win this relay, and then we win the meet, and we did, and it was just like by
and
like
that
5
event
points.
won the meet. Like, so there were all kinds of the other strokes and the other events that had already happened, but it came down to a relay at the end to beat Watkins.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
intense.
intense.
It was crazy. Yeah, I think we beat them by like maybe like 5 or like 7 points.
And I think I got to see the video of that. I think they posted that
Yeah.
to social media, but that was the last swimmer coming in, and then
and that was
you.
me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah,
Well, I have
great.
video of that, and I will put this on the podcast of you coming into the wall there at the end. I think there was like a fist bump. Yeah.
It was exciting. I think like we felt good about the relay, so that was good. But there was also pressure, and like because like also during that meet, like it was like everyone like you had to like you couldn't. It worked out perfectly because like at the beginning like there's like heat sheets, so you see like oh like I'm like third in this like event. Like we like our team did like everything perfectly to get to that point, which was like really satisfying. 'Cause, like everyone got in their place. Some people got like they were ranked third, they'd get second and get more points. But that really shows how much of like a team like sport it is.
Yeah, it underscores the video. I mean, it almost like the video isn't doing justice to the moment, right? Because what it took to get to that moment for it to be important, right? Like that isn't captured in the video for everybody else and all the other teams to like do all the things to get to that spot.
Yeah, it was really exciting. And same with cross country. Like this year, it was really tight between Watkins and us. It's always Watkins. But like the whole race, it was just like, actually like the whole day we're just like, okay, like we gotta like do this, we gotta like beat Watkins. Like it was very stressful, but we all acted well under pressure, and we all ran great, and we like won. So
it's where sport comes in as a great metaphor too, because and when I think about 7-12 and like school, there are all these things that had to like go right, and you did, and you showed up, and you studied, and you did the test, and you got the grade, and you to get to the moment of like graduation and then applying to places, and that's good. So cross country also, I don't know that I got that part. So we went to I took us off on a tangent because I was like, wait, you were still swimming? So that was you. That's great. I do the social media stuff where we post on the TVs, and so I often will steal stuff that other people posted so that the students can make up like a shout out to the swim team. And so that's 9-12. Like the swimmers who are on that team it's all high school. Yeah. Okay, so cross country, how does the scoring work though to where someone else could bump in? Like somebody, like maybe a score gets not qualified, like counted in the top, and then like they'll bring up a score, or like how does there's something interesting there that.
So usually, I could be wrong. I'm always so confused.
That's okay.
So usually it's top 7. So that's what varsity is. We always run 7 runners. That's what it is for the postseason.
And you know that going in, like to that race, you'll be like, these are our 7 runners. Yeah.
So that's for postseason, but sometimes when you run, you can run more. And then let's say you're like tied with another team, they'll take your next runner, so your 8th runner or like whatever, how many you're running in that race, and they'll say like, oh, they're ahead of like their next person, so they'll like bring that score up.
The next person in the team that you were competing against.
Yeah, so like if like let's say like our top 7 and like their top 7 were like I guess like equal in points. I don't know, it's weird, but then like they'll take your next runner, and they'll take their score if they were like the first out of those like teams, and they'll like they'll say like, oh, like that will like bump you up because like they were ahead. Yeah.
When they explained it, I was like, oh my gosh. And so it's just this like, it's this carrot or motivation for all the other runners who are, or the other runner that's not in the 7 to like, your score could still really matter. Like you got to show up today because you don't know when like you might be the person who's going to be used as a score. So that's cool. And the rest of cross country is so like just being on the team, everybody's on the team. Like there are no cuts in cross country, which is awesome. And you literally are just trying to get a little bit better than you were the last time you ran, which is like every day when you wake up, like I'm just trying to be a little better of a human being today. And sometimes it doesn't happen. Like sometimes you're slower, but it's like,
definitely.
okay, tomorrow I'll be a little bit better than I was today. And if you just keep stacking those things up, you end up being like a pretty great human, right? Like you growth. So I love that about cross country. I think that's a cool representation of what we're actually trying to do here as a human living, right? All right, cool. Wow, I love that I just watched. I literally just watched that video before I came in here, and I did not know it was you. All right, so you also are hats you're wearing. You were involved in the development of the GRAD Grove. And I've read a little bit about this. And so essentially it's that parents can, I think, sponsor, or someone can sponsor a senior and they get a tree planted. So tell me about that, the motivation, like why trees, what are we doing? Like how did that come to be?
So I was in the AP Enviro.
Shout out Jim Reddy.
Yeah. I was in his class sophomore year. And he does this thing, it's called, oh gosh, what's it called? Oh, Take Action Project.
Yeah.
And you pick a project, you work on it for like the whole year. It's like, it's so great. I think
super autonomous agency. Like you are in control. Like what can you come up with and how can we help you do it?
Yeah. So this was like a project. It was started by a group of students, but like didn't really get through. I don't know. It was kind of like a thing where it was like an idea, but someone needed to take it on. So like it was me.
The take action part maybe like, and I mean, there's I see this in my ELM class where like somebody will have this like brilliant idea and they'll be like, oh, I mean, I had this brilliant, and they'll even prototype it, but they'll like let it go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Like, I can't believe that's going to die or just stay here as this like idea. And so it's kind of one of these things that like somebody had came up with, maybe they ran out of time, like who knows? And you picked it up.
But yeah, so we picked it up. It was me and 3 other students in that class. So we kind of went through, it was like basically a graded project at that point.
Was that while you were in his class? Like okay.
Yeah, so we picked it
up.
As
a sophomore, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we did it. We didn't even plant trees that year because there was like, you would think it would be kind of like easy to like, okay, like you're donating.
Nothing's easy.
It was like so much work. Well, like just because like, so it's with like 1,500 trees, which is like a thing in Licking County where you can donate money and then they'll plant like trees.
That's an organization in itself. Like what you just said, like 1,500 trees is a thing that's existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So their like goals like to plant 1,500 trees. It's like a thing, like nonprofit, and people. It's like a whole thing, and they partner with us because they supply the trees. They're like native trees, and so parents can donate and they can honor like an alum or like a student that's graduating, like anything related to GHS or even like the school. And so that was a project. It took a lot of time. It's like harder than you think. Yeah.
What's the motivation? Like why trees?
Well, it was like an enviro project. Yeah. But I think it like, I feel like a tree, like that was our like kind of like it's like not motivation, but like our like mission statement is like they're gonna stay there for a long time, just like your legacy. That was kind of like our whole like, oh, like it connects to like your legacy here and like how you're gonna like make your impact on GHS, and that was kind of like our whole thing with it. But it was really cool. We partnered. So then the next year, we didn't even plant any trees that year, but the next year. And
when you say it was hard, it's the bureaucracy. I mean, the red tape, the like getting permissions, the reaching out to people, the lining stuff up. Like it's so much work, right? To get that to happen. You can't just plant trees in like the random yard of the school. You have and even email, like we talked about emailing earlier to get people to email back, and sometimes they're just really busy, and so it'll get lost, and you got to email them again, and then just to get things rolling is a lot of effort. A
lot of patience, but we didn't even plant trees that year. But then the next fall, 2 of the students I was working with graduated. So it was me and another student, Ava Rose Pastis. She's great. But we worked on it and we planted the trees. We did a lot of, we partnered with the art center at Granville to make a sign. So there's like a sign up there.
Shout out Ryan McGuire.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He was great. So that's what he did it. We just kind of kept working on the project.
Where do they go? Where are they planted? Where are the trees at?
So the, like the practice football fields, and it's like a slope kind of, it's like all the way up there.
Okay.
That was like all invasive species back there. It was just like all overgrown, like all kind of like yucky. We like cleared the whole area out. There's trees up there now.
Do you know how many to date? Like how many trees have been planted?
I think up there right now there's like more than 20, maybe even 30.
And is there a capacity? Like what can it hold?
I mean, we have that whole like lot up there. It was like I think when we did it like the first year we were like over like it's like over 100. You
could fit in there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But so it was really cool. We did like the planting last year. It was really cool to see like all that work putting into place because we had a lot of people donate, and like even some people were like honoring their relatives who have like passed away there. It was just really like almost like emotional and kind of like, wow, like I'm making an impact, and like something that like you would think would be kind of small, like, oh, it's just like a tree, but it's your tree. Yeah, it was like their
or
tree.
It's like someone's tree. Like it's special.
Yeah, and then so I've been carrying it on like even into this year, And it's been like a really cool part of
Do people know if it's their, like, do they know like this one's mine? Like, do they know which tree?
There's no labels.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of just like we were gonna do labels, but then we kind of like, so like it was kind of weird because like 1,500 trees, it's more kind of like, oh, like they're just planting the trees. It's not really like the money aspect. So that's like one of the they wanted to do. But yeah. Yeah,
it's I mean, I overthink all these things, but I love the idea of like a tree has roots, right? And like this is your roots, like whether you like it or dislike it. And I hope everyone leaving likes it, that like this is where you got to put down roots, and it's the space that you like jump off from. But you know, that tree, I feel like people will come back and like that'll be a pretty special thing, like that this was my tree, or my tree is in there somewhere and growing. That's pretty cool. Nice.
Definitely.
And then does the money go to buy more trees, or like is it money like they have to pay to like sponsor someone?
It's like a money to buy like the tree, because like they will buy the tree and then they'll like plant it.
Okay.
So it's like kind of that.
And so that goes back to the Licking County 1500 Club. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. It sounds, and Jim Redding is the OG at this, so it's very experiential learning, which I love. Experiential learning, this idea of like actually doing something, you know, the take action is like, hey, come up with a really cool thing and then like go do it in the world, where school doesn't always feel like that. Sometimes I call it trash can work. Like we're doing this like work that, and it's a rep, but it's hard to sometimes, you know, remember like I'm doing this for a purpose, but especially, you know, when I get done, it like ultimately will just go in a trash can. Like it's not going to go anywhere or do anything. It's not going to impact the world. So I'm just curious, are there any other moments that stand out to you in your 7-12 that was more of like, wow, I feel like I actually, like I did something that had an impact, like it's outside the walls, or it's like actually changed something in our community?
Yeah, I've done it like I said, the like I feel like the big ace little ace thing.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Is definitely every time I do that, I always feel like I'm like, wow, like I feel like I'm making a difference.
Well, and I love the lineage of, you know, these women in STEM came in and talked to you guys, and now you're going down and talking to these elementary students, right? Like there's mentorship at all levels, and so that's a pretty cool line to draw there too.
Definitely those two things I would say the most. Like I feel like when I'm doing that, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm like the mentor here, and I'm like helping other people and like kind of my peers too, which I think is really good. Just stuff like that. Like I've been like also I've done a lot of like sport related things as well, like mental health committees and all that stuff. I think that really does make an impact, and I feel like since I've been on like sports my freshman year to senior year, the like amount of organization and like programs that are like there to help student athletes has like grown a lot, which I think I've also been a part of a little bit.
And those are huge. Those are big legacy things, right? That you put things in place and then you leave, and other people will pick them back up and keep them going. And that's cool to be a piece of it.
Definitely. But I think Granville does a really good job of like that experimental learning, like you said, like actually going out in the world. Like even if I'm not even like doing anything to make a difference, it's like doing, like I'm not just like doing a worksheet and I'm like gonna forget about like what I learned. It's like this year, like in my chem class, my AP chem class, we like got to actually like experience like using like machines like to like determine chemical stuff, or like I remember like last year in one of my classes, like it was very like IAP. It's a class where it's like you're doing hands-on stuff, and I was like at first I was like, oh, like I just kind of want to do notes, like I just want to like know what I'm doing, but like once I like actually thought about it, I'm like, oh, this visual and like hands-on learning is like great.
I love that you said that, like because it's like get out of my comfort zone moment. Like wait, I'm really good at this thing, I can take notes, I know how to take tests, like this feels different or hard, but then you do it and you're like, oh yeah, that's like a good experience. Definitely. My son is in Mrs. Newell's biology class, and I say this, there's some teachers that listen to this, and so I think some teachers can get overwhelmed by this idea of experiential learning, like wait, I've got to like help a student create a 100 tree grove that they're gonna like partner, wait a minute, and it's like no, like you can do some really simple things. And so she just gave them the opportunity and said, go connect biology to something you care about, and then come back in 2 weeks and tell the class about like what it is that you're going to do. And so he has a finance podcast, and so he was able to like, you know, dig in on some biotech company and look at how they do it, and then create a podcast episode about this biotech. It was really simple, but it was a way of connecting experientially like the real world and what he cares about with what they're learning about, right? And giving up that autonomy to let them do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Simple, and I think Granville, like you said, they're good at doing those kind of things, like trying to find opportunities for that. Yeah. So cool. Oh, this is a cool one. So this is the first time I've asked someone about applying for the United States Naval Academy, which you have. And so this is going to be your next. I don't know. Have you like heard anything back from them or
not yet?
Not yet.
It's
okay.
such a long process.
Yeah.
But
so that's the start of my question is like, tell me about that process. Like, what does that look like? Because I have a little bit of understanding, but probably pretty limited of like, how is it different than a normal college application, and a little bit about like what led you there, like why?
Yeah. So I actually just kind of like started thinking about this, like this kind of like, I don't know, like what I would do in college. And I was like, I had a friend who had like a cousin who went there, and her mom was like, I've heard of the Naval Academy before. I was kind of like, oh, like maybe. My mom was like, oh, maybe you should like check this out. Like it kind of sounds like your type of like gig. I don't know. Like I feel like you'd like it. I was like, yeah, like maybe, and like didn't really look into it. And then I went to go visit her cousin that was like at the Naval Academy. She was like awesome. She was like the captain of the swim team, like very like big role
What
model.
timeline? When did you go?
This was last like October.
Okay.
I think so. Like not that long ago. Yeah. I went to visit and I was like, wow, like I could really see myself here. And she like told me all about it and like her like opportunities, and I was like, okay, like maybe I'll like actually look into this.
Have you visited other colleges at this point? Like had you gone and seen other schools?
Yeah, like I've like been on vacation, like oh like we'll like go see this school or whatever. But yeah, I went to go visit. I like really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, like really see myself here. I looked into it and I kind of basically the application process starts with like there's like a summer camp you go to, so I went to that. So I've been there a couple times, but
and the goal of that is just to see what it's like give you a little bit of a
like life
heads
there,
up.
like what it's like to live there. All
Are you paired with somebody who is in the Naval Academy, or is it?
You have like a squad leader,
Okay.
So you were like with them the whole time, then you like were like with another student who's kind of like in the same shoes as you. Yeah, I did that, and then it kind of starts. It's a very long process, so it's not like you just send in an application. Like it's not on Common App. It's like you go through multiple interviews. It's like a whole like application, like essays. You have to apply, like it's like, and then you have to get a congressional application or a congressional appointment as well. So that's when you apply to it's your two senators, your congressman, and the vice president. So you send in your applications. It's like an essay and like, I don't know. And then they can like appoint you. They can be like, oh, like this person, I'm going to give my appointment to, like I could be West Point or it could be Naval Academy. So I got that from Troy Balderson, which was good.
Do they have like a certain number that they are allowed to give out?
So it's like a certain amount of number per academies. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I think it's like 5 per academy.
Okay.
But yeah, they do that. Yeah, it's very long. Lots of interviews. Like I think that this process like actually started like last like December probably.
To apply.
Just like I've been working on it like constantly, but.
And you don't know yet.
No.
Yeah, and the only people who do know maybe are early decision for other universities. Is that true? Like that's who. Like some people have found out, but they were people who committed early to a place. So it's pretty normal not to know.
Yeah, I mean the Naval Academy like. You could hear like whenever. Yeah. Like it's kind of like it's until May. Okay. So, but like it's been a long process, but I've like learned so much from it. Like even if it's like it doesn't turn out the way I want it to, like the experience I've gotten from it, like I've really enjoyed.
Do you know much about like what's it like? So say you get in, like what's life like at the Naval Academy versus a normal university? Like what's that going to look like?
So I'll like leave for I'll leave end of June to go there, and you have like
which is a month or more earlier than anybody else, right? 2 months earlier.
Yeah, so that's like your basic training. It's called like plebe summer, and you like do basic training all throughout the summer.
Is there a physical application, like a test, like you have to be physically fit to even apply? Like was there something like that you had to do?
It's like a test. Like my like coach had to like run it for me. It was like pull-ups, like sit-ups, push-ups, a run. All that stuff I had to do, and you had to be like qualified for it.
Gotcha.
So there's that too.
That's different. That's not a normal university requirement.
You definitely
right?
don't submit that to any university. Which is like my thing. I'm very athletic, so I like that.
And that's a part of life there, right? Like even after you like as you're there is like you have to be physically fit. There's training, like there's a whole.
Yeah, I think even if you're not like in a varsity sport, like you still like participate in sports.
Yeah.
Like when I was there over the summer and like when I visited, like everyone's doing a sport. Like it could be like triathlon or like I remember my squad leader, he was like an ultra marathoner, which is really cool. So like that's when you run like hundreds of miles. like in like relays and stuff. And I thought that was kind of cool.
And you're technically considered like a midshipman. Like you are you are like you are in the Navy. Like you are right? Like I don't know what to, and then after you graduate, what happens? Like, so you're learning like a normal college student outside of, I think there's also like you were saying, training, basic training. And like, you're also learning to be a soldier or a officer in the military.
Yeah. So you go through those 4 years of schooling. You actually like pick your major, I think like your sophomore year. So it's kind of like you're going through all this stuff, like what you want to learn. I mean, it's predominantly like a STEM school, like obviously.
And that's because of what they would like you to have skill sets afterwards.
Yeah.
Largely, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you go through that and then you graduate as a naval officer. But there's like many different like sub levels or like families, I guess. Like you could be like naval aviator or like work in subs or like it's like surface warfare or like naval like doctor. Yeah. So. And
does it usually align with, like, if you're an engineer or something, they're going to find you like something that has to do with engineering as you like, because after you graduate, then you work, you're an officer for do you know how many years? Is it like 4 years or?
I think that, it's like 4 or like 6. It like depends
depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so you work, but because you are working 4 or 5, you've committed afterwards. The education is free, right?
Yeah.
So that's
really nice.
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, you graduate as an officer, but even like I think like it doesn't like it matters a little bit like if you're like engineering, but I think some people they'll do like political science and then they'll like work on like a ship and they'll work on like certain things. Like you have like requirements to like do certain jobs, but I think you don't have to be like specifically like like I'm gonna do this or do that.
They'll teach you what they need you to do. Yeah. From the military standpoint, once you're out like working in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I looked it up. It's a 9% acceptance rate. Like, so every 100 applicants, maybe 9 will get in.
Yeah.
And then you get your degree and you'll go out and work for 4 or 5 years. And then the beautiful thing is you have no college debt to pay back, which that's hard for someone going in, I think, to college, because you haven't had to have debt. Like you haven't shouldered or like had to pay off anything ever, or even a concept of like, what is $100,000? Like, what does that look like? Or how long does it take to make? But it's hard to pay that back. I promise you. And so the idea that you get to jump out into the world and get paid a salary right away and you have zero college debt to pay back is like a huge leap forward. Like that's a huge step ahead. So that's huge benefit to it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
As well as you're serving your country and you're doing all these other awesome things. I'm assuming you're going to get to see the world a little bit. Like after you graduate, they'll station you somewhere and like so you could move around. I think you get some choice in that too. So if you want to see the world a little bit, it's a pretty cool way to travel. Will you try to swim or run or anything? Like, is there competitively, can you do anything like that there?
Not varsity, probably. But like definitely just like club and stuff. I mean, like even like just in college, if I just go to normal college, like I'll definitely continue. Yeah,
you said triathlete, which you're a runner and a swimmer. I feel like that wouldn't be a horrible path to pursue. It seems like you got those things stacked up for you. That's cool. And major, you're something STEM? Like, are you thinking, do you know?
So right now, like I'm thinking like biomedical engineering, just cause like I think it would be really cool to go in the medical field, but also I'm not like 100% sure yet. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'll do that, and see, cause like I'm really interested in both, like engineering and
and what
biology.
Would like biomedical would be like, engineering would be what exactly? Like, is that like genetics? Is that like
actually surprisingly a lot of genetics? It's like more it could be like devices.
Okay.
Like you could have like it's like a pacemaker.
Yeah.
Or like,
so the actual engineering and development of those things.
Yeah. Or it could be like genetics and like something with like like cell development, like stuff like that. Yeah.
So it could be more. I mean, and I'm just thinking of like the one seems very like mechanical or like concrete, and the other one seems very like cellular or like manipulate, which it's all building something. It's just
I mean it's such a big
from a different standpoint,
such a big major.
And part of that is you'll get there and figure it out too. I'm sure as you start to take classes and see what you like. So that's cool. All right, next question. So these are the questions I ask everybody. They're kind of designed to dig in and give some advice to people coming behind you, whether that's middle school or high school students. So the first one is, if you could go back and tell your middle school self anything that you would have liked to know that would have made navigating the last 6 years easier, what would you go back and tell yourself?
Probably just like, I'd say like challenge yourself. Like, you're gonna like, I feel like when I was in middle school, I kind of was like very like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I kind of just want to like stay like where I am, like comfortable. Like, I just want to like, not like blend in, but I just kind of like stay here where I'm at. But I feel like once I kind of got into high school, I was like, I feel like I can do this and like challenge myself, whether it's like classes or running or swimming. Like, even if you fail, like you're still gonna learn something, and you'll come back out a better person.
Probably gonna learn more, right? Like, and grow even more if you're failing than winning.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good to fail, but it's a necessary ingredient.
Like, you're gonna feel like, for me, like all like where I've been, right, like where I'm at right now, I have not, like, I wouldn't be here without taking risks. Like, definitely, I feel like I've done so many things where I'm like, it's probably impossible, but like I might as well try. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I'll maybe be sad for like 24 hours, but like I like just try again. And I think that's a really valuable thing to know in life, that like you're going to learn from your experiences. Like, you can't just like stay in your own bubble. You have to go out and do stuff. Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be hard, right? Like if it doesn't feel hard, you're probably in the wrong room. Yeah. Right. Like, my son is in 6th grade, Hayes, and he's like really good at the drums. And he's picked up the guitar, and they just brought in a 6th grade, and it might be 4-6, I don't know, but a talent show, which they haven't had, at least from the time my other kids have been there. And so he's pumped, and he's going to play the guitar. And I was like, are you going to sing? He's like, no, but he can sing. Like, he sings really well. Like, he can play the guitar and sing. And I'm like, you got to sing, man. Like, this is going to be awesome. He's like, I don't think so. Like, it's that's where his comfort line was. And so that's what I hear when you say that. I'm like, no, you got to get up there and sing, and it's going to be hard, and you might mess up, and it might not, but like, what a great rep. Like, you won't know until you do it. Like, just do it.
No, definitely. Like, I just feel like that's so important, because like, even like, I feel like mainly in sports, it's like, oh, like, I feel like I can't run with this person who's faster than me. Like, I remember my freshman year, like, I kind of like, not like struggle with it, but I was kind of like nervous. I was like, oh, like, I don't know if I should run with this like junior, like, or the senior, like, I don't know if I can do it. But then I did it, and I'm like, oh, like, I can like be with them, I can like compete, and they're gonna push you to right, run faster, train harder, and the kind of like metaphor with like cross country, like, if you're just staying like with the pack that you know you can do, you're not gonna run any faster, you're just gonna stay at that pace. But like, if you push yourself to go for that next pack of girls that maybe is way far ahead of your level, but then you see how it feels, you're like, okay, like, I can do that next time. Like, you're just getting like stronger each time. It's a great metaphor. It's the same with rooms. Like, you never want to be the smartest person in the room, right? Like, you want to be in a room where you feel like, wow, these people are really intelligent, and I'm nervous to say something, because you'll rise to that occasion for sure. I even think like podcasting, when I first started to like, I was like, I have this idea, and the thoughts in my head are like, am I going to sound stupid? Like, this stuff is going to be out there forever. And I know students, I'm sure, when I ask them, are like, ooh, like, you want me to record, and that's going to go like out for everyone to hear? And it's like, nobody else is doing it. Like, why not? Like, of course, like, sure, I might say something that I'll look back on and be like, oh, I wish I would have said that different, but it's still worth the endeavor, right? Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's awesome. Cool. Take risks. Yeah. Don't be afraid of failure. I like it. All right. So what was something that you didn't totally appreciate when you were going through school, but now that you're exiting, you can look back and be like, hey, that actually was pretty good? Yeah. I feel like kind of what I was talking about, like, I feel like in middle school, I kind of was like very like, I wanted to be older. I just wanted to be a senior in high school. I just wanted to be like, I want to go to college. I want to be old. I want to like, just like do the things and be older. But I feel like that was kind of like a burden. I was just like, oh, like, I don't want to be in middle school. Like, I feel like everyone kind of feels that. But like, now that I'm a senior, I feel like I'm like, oh, like, I wish I could go back to like when I was younger, and I could just kind of like, I don't know, just like do my own thing. And I feel like in middle school, I was kind of just like, oh, like, it'd be nice to be like older, but I don't know, like, what I'm trying to say. But just kind of like, I wish I like thought more of like, oh, I'm gonna get to that point. Like, it's like, this is like so like such a small moment in my like life, like this like high school and like middle school years, that like I didn't appreciate it at the time, that I was stuck in like 7th grade or 8th grade. But now that I'm like a senior, I'm like, oh gosh, like, it's like real. Like, I'm gonna move on in life, and like, I'm never gonna experience this again. Like, I should have been more like kind of like spent more time thinking about like how much this is like nice, and how much like being young and how much I can do. And kind of like appreciate that.
Like in that moment, be in the moment that you're living in. And the sad or scary part is when like you're having this revelation now, which is huge, because most people will then go like, gosh, I wish I could just have my degree and get the job.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, if I could just get the promotion and the raise, if I could just get the next house, if I could just get gosh, I can't. And this is a really sad one. I just can't wait till I can retire. It's like, oh my gosh, you just wished away 35 years of your life. Like you're, what are you running towards? And then you get there and you're like, oh shoot, like all the living was happening back then. That was really great. And I was like wishing for the next thing. So I think you can be excited about the next thing, but be in the moment, and like all of the living that's happening to get to the next thing is what actually matters. Like that's the cool part. Yeah. That's really good advice. Yeah. I love that. All right. So we talked a little bit about this earlier, but just to circle back to it, stress is something that starts to increase really early. Actually, I you say middle school here, but I think it happens even earlier than that. I can think in my own, like as parenting my own kids, there was like a switch that flipped where it seemed like they were just kind of like, it was fun and going through the motions. And then it got hard and they got a lot of things and, time management. And now I don't have time to do these other things that I liked, and stress starts to creep in. And so I'm curious what you found as worthwhile ways to deal with stress and manage it. It sounds like you have a really good perspective about it too. And so that might be part of it. But what would you offer as advice?
Like I feel like once you get older, you're super busy. It's like a lot of classes, a lot of homework, all that stuff. It's very stressful. But I feel like my way of dealing with it is I could have the worst day of my life, and then I could run with my friends or swim in the pool, and I'll come out and I'll be like I forgot what happened. Like that's something. And I like scientifically, it's like when you're working out, like your endorphins and all that stuff, like it does make you happier and less stressed. But just kind of being around like my people that I like to be around, and just kind of like taking a moment to myself to do something I love is something that really like brings my like stress levels down, and kind of how I function. Like I always say, like if I like didn't run or swim, like I would just like be going crazy. Yeah. Like it's a really good break during the day, even though it's like right after school for like an hour and a half. Like it's not even that long. Like I'm probably doing homework for longer than that, but it's just like it really takes like it's like time for myself and like social time. Yeah. Just to kind of like decompress.
I love it. I hear three things in there. So have things in your life outside of school and the stuff that are stressful that you love doing. Do them with people that fill your bucket, right? And be active, like be moving and physically active. And those are all science, very researched things that help you deal with stress for sure. Have they ever been places of stress, like running, cross country, competing and swimming? Like, are they ever the source of stress, or they truly have been more of an outlet for you?
Definitely a source of stress. Like I can say that like 100%. Like especially with like I think like a lot of injury related stuff. Like I've been very stressed about like I don't know if I'm gonna run this race, or I don't know if I'm gonna like be better, or like even like just like LCLs yesterday. That was very stressful. Like being like, oh, like I'm so close to like walk-ins, like we gotta like beat them. But like I said, I like run after that. Like it's just like extra power to like keep going, especially in sports. Like I'm gonna get stressed about it, but I know like every time, like I'm in freshman year, like kind of going back, I just was like so stressed all the time. Like I remember every race I ran, I would be in tears, or I'd just be like so nervous every single time. But I've learned over the time that's like hurting me more than it's helping me. Yeah. Like I know like in the moment you feel like, oh, I just like need to cry, or I just need to like bottle up my emotions, or whatever you need to do, but it's just gonna hurt you. Like I feel like stress is good, not if it's a lot, but it's good to motivate you to do the stuff like you need to accomplish,
because it means you're doing something that hard or that matters, and right? Like that's why if it wasn't stressful, it probably wouldn't be worth doing. Like it probably wouldn't be in that bucket.
Yeah, definitely. So like that just means you're challenging yourself and you're putting yourself out of your comfort zone.
So there's been a transition for you from someone who is like emotional, the emotions leaking out of you in more of a like maybe unproductive way, and you've been able to channel those more into a like, I'm feeling these same exact emotions, but I'm going to channel them into a like I'm going to use it to push myself to and you feel like you've gotten better at that? Like that's a real transition.
Oh my gosh. I just like whenever I look back at like freshman year, even like 8th grade year, I just was like, why was I so stressed all the time? Like I just felt like I wasn't like I just always was kind of like bottled up and just kind of like like I always like remembers like I was like, oh, I just need to win this race, like that's all I need to do. And like I think that's because like I was performing well, and which is like good, but it's just like when you are performing well and you're like an athlete, like you feel that pressure to do well, like from like your coaches or like your friends or whatever. But like I just feel like I've gotten a lot more like, I'm just gonna like have fun with this. I'm just gonna like go out there and see what I can do, and I've become a better athlete that way. Like I always look back and I'm like, why was I doing that? Like, it was not helping me.
Yeah. And you had to go through all that, like, right? Like, it's such a human growth moment. It's like beautiful that way of like, you have to live through those 7th, 8th, 9th grade years to get to the point where you're like, okay, that was a really good life experience. And now I can look back on that and be a different person.
And I like to like, kind of like, I feel like I'll watch other like my teammates, like who are in 9th grade or like even sophomore year, like I'll see them kind of going through the same thing I went through. And I just think it's very like, I feel like I've gone through that, and I feel like I can help those like girls and be like
that mentorship piece.
Yeah, which I think is really important. That's like, I feel like a big part of my life is just kind of like taking on these lessons I've learned and like making sure other people don't like have to go through, like I'm like gonna help them. Yeah,
and a shout out to, if you're feeling that way and you're like not managing stress, look around the room and look at some of the older athletes, students, friends, whoever, who seem like they've got it together at least a little bit, and lean on them. Like, go up to them and be like, I'm freaking out here. Like, what do you do? Like, why aren't you freaking out like I am? Like lean on them as a resource for sure.
And I definitely had mentors as well when I was like a freshman and sophomore that like I leaned on a lot, and they like really helped me, and I just felt like it helped me so much that like I want to do the same thing. Like, I don't know.
It's awesome. And don't feel bad about feeling those emotions early on either. Like, you have to feel emotion to learn how to deal with them, right? Like, you have to feel and be overwhelmed, and that's just part of living. So that's good. Awesome. All right. So how about technology? So just any in general advice, specific advice. We're one-to-one Chromebooks. This question's interesting now because I feel like technology is the new thing that's being vilified right now on an educational space. So it was social media. There was this book, The Anxious Generation, that came out last year, and everyone read it, and we had all the parents read it, and kind of vilified phones and social media, which I don't disagree with. Like, I think there are obviously issues inside of them, but I don't think it's like the only problem. And then now the push is kind of like Chromebooks and technology in general, and that we got to get all those out of here. Like, education is such this pendulum. Like, we go all in on something and then we go all the other way. So I'm curious, have you had any issues with technology? Like, what's that life been like for you as you've navigated school? And that could be phone, Chromebook, social media, whatever.
I mean, through like social media, I've had social media. I've used it. I think.
At what age did you?
Maybe it was like 9th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So
do you feel like that was the right age?
Yeah. I feel like once you're older, you have to have like that exposure. You have to have like contact with your friends. Like, I think it's a really good way to be like kind of like connect with others. Especially like in high school when like you don't like hang out with certain people all the time. Like, you can say like, oh, like this is what they're doing.
What was the go-to social media app in 9th grade? Like, was it Snapchat?
I really wanted Snapchat. I remember when I was younger. Which like I don't even use that much anymore, but like I think it's great because like it's like nice for like if you want to make a group chat with people, and I think it's good in that way. But,
even academically, I mean, there's opportunities, right, where you're talking about schoolwork and.
Oh, I use Instagram all the time for school, like for like clubs and stuff. It's great, but I think there's a limit. Like, I feel like I've been pretty responsible with it. Like, you can't just like base yourself off of social media. It's like not real. And I mean everyone says that. It's like it's not real, like it's all photoshopped, but like you can't look at someone's life and just be like, I want that. Or like I feel like I've learned that through, cuz like everyone's felt that, be like, oh, like I see these pictures and I just want those clothes, or I want to go on that vacation. And I think it's really important to think about like, well, like that's their life. Like, you just need to be unique in your own way, and like
the best parts of their life. Right?
Yeah, the best. Yeah, they're not even highlighted. They're not even showing like the bad parts, which I think you need to really think about when you're looking at all these pictures, because you can like get down on yourself, which like everyone's felt, but it can be helpful and it can be hurtful, just like depending on how you use it.
Yeah, but, for sure.
Yeah.
How about, do you feel like Chromebooks, like computers 1-to-1, like that's been a good situation like through school? Like, do you feel like that was a...
I feel like, yeah, I like technology in school. I think it's benefited a lot of like classes. Like, a lot of like, even like in my like science classes, we'll use like all this cool technology to like find data and stuff. I think that's really beneficial. But I think sometimes like I know it's like at this year with like the phone ban and stuff. I actually like kind of enjoy it. I feel like last year everyone was just on their phones all the time. It's just kind of like I kind of just like it's nice to be away from like your social media and your phones all the time at school and kind of more focused, like be more focused on what's on your like Chromebook or like what you're learning in school.
Distraction is a huge issue, and so if you're trying to do something, the ability to just focus on that thing and not having another device or having multiple tabs or that's a real struggle for sure.
I mean, I kind of just changed the subject on this, but like I feel like I've struggled. Like last year I'd be like, oh, like I would just like get into class and I'd like be on my phone. Like I just feel like that's not beneficial. Like now I just like it's in my locker and I don't look at it. It's kind of just like nice to be off of it. I don't know.
No,
like,
and sometimes I think that was a huge win. Like I think and we have technology. Like so you can email parents, you can get a hold of people if you need to. It's not like you're removed from the world. Like I think it's okay for the time, and I think that's true of staff too. Like I'm not on my I don't get out my phone unless it's school something. Like there are times in media that I'm trying to show them something from our media from the middle page, and so I might have my phone out then, but I don't think that's real for a workplace either for out in the business world. And so I was so glad to see that from a human connection standpoint of even at lunch. Like I wish I just want people to like talk to each other, look at people. So I'm glad you felt that. I think that's kind of the consensus too. Like I think there are some people who complain and like I want my phone back. But I think in general, most students would be like, that was probably a good situation. And nobody wanted to be the bad guy. And nobody wanted to be the person who's like not, or like, let's just put our phones away. I feel like there needed to be an impetus, something that started that trend. Cool. How about AI? You got any insights on that? It's an interesting world that's unraveling as we speak that is shaping education and it's shaping the real world.
I feel like I like ChatGPT is like what everyone hears and like that's AI. I feel like I've definitely used it, and I feel like at the beginning it was like so nice. It's so easy to access. It gives you answers in like 2 seconds. It's like so nice. But then I feel like especially this year I will like use it and I'll be like I don't like this is not. Sometimes it's like when I'm just asking it for answers and it's giving it to me, I'm not learning anything. So I feel like I've learned to use it in a way where it's like it's not giving me the answer. So I think it's good in some ways, but also like you can't just use it to like write a whole like essay. Like I know like everyone says like, oh, like you can't just like tell it to like write your essay. Like that you can't do that obviously, but I think it can help you like.
I mean, you can like it'll do a decent job at
it.
It will, actually,
but, like you're not learning.
You're not learning like and trying to remember why we're here. Like why are we here? Like what are we doing actually? And
you'll probably get in trouble for it. Anyway,
and you'll probably get caught anyways. I like to think of it as like a sparring partner. Like I'm not sending it out to like fight the fight for me. Instead, I'm sparring with it to like be a better version of myself, so that when I go out and fight the fight, like seeing it as that tool in the toolbox. I ask my kids a daily attendance question that's a metaphor. Like, are you more of and last week it was after the Snowmageddon, it was, are you more of a snow shoveler or a snow blower? And one of the students, Quinn, shout out Quinn, he said shovel. And then I'm like, and they all answer. And then afterwards I'm like, okay, tell me why. And then it's not literal. I'm like, metaphorically, why are you a shovel? He's like, well, and he compared, he's like, I want to compare it to AI. He's like, if I just use AI, which I compare to like the snow blower, he's like, then I'm not going to get stronger. Like I need to go out and like actually shovel the snow. And if I do that, like I'm going to get and be a stronger version of myself. And I was like, that's good. That's great. Like, don't let the AI do the lifting for you all the time, because you're missing the point if you are. I was like, that's good. I like that. All right, cool. All right, last question. Any other just life advice, anything that hasn't been said that you would like to tell a middle school, high schooler that's listening as they navigate? I
mean, like I said before, just challenge yourself. I think another thing would also just be be unique. Like I feel like also in middle school, I was very like focused on like what other people thought about me, and kind of like I said, like staying in that bubble, not like really doing anything, just kind of staying in that comfort zone. But I feel like as I've gone through like Granville, like I've made my own identity and like who I am, which has been really valuable, because I'm kind of just figuring like, oh, what do I like who am I as a person? Like this is kind of like silly, but like I remember in middle school, like I straightened my hair all the time, like, because I had straight hair, and then I was like kind of curly. I like straightened it all the time because I hated my curly hair. I just wanted to keep it straight. And then I remember like once I got into high school, like I would start to like let it go curly again, and that's kind of like a part of my identity now. Like,
yeah, and I bet some of the people have said like after your hair wasn't straight, people were like, "Oh my gosh, I love your hair! Like it's so cool, it's so different."
Yeah. And that's like just like one example.
Such a great example, though. I mean, there's like a myriad of those things where we think we want to be or do one thing, and the opposite is actually what the world's looking for. Is like actually what is going to make you stand out.
No, yeah. Everyone will be like, "I love your hair," and I'm like, I just like I don't know why I like straighten it all the time. But yeah, just like kind of being unique and being your own person, because like when you're just like staying in that like area of like even like I said like social media, like when you're just staying as that like person who everyone sees, like you're just doing the same thing as everyone else, like you're not standing out. Like, and I feel like when you stand out, like it just kind of, it's like better for your personality and like better for your like I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of like when I'm my own person, I just more confident in myself. And when you're following other people, that's like not you. Like that's not who you're like supposed to be. Like you're just kind of like, yeah, you can follow trends and stuff, but it's just like if you're just following what someone else does the whole time, like that, you're not making your own decisions. Like
it's exhausting to try to be something that you're not. Like that, you know, talking about mental health and like trying to pretend to be something that's not the true you is exhausting. Mm-hmm. So I think that makes total sense. Like you feel your best when you just are you, and trying to find and surround yourself with people who are looking for that you too, like that celebrate that. I say this all the time, and I don't know if my middle schoolers hear me or not. I hope they do, but I'm like, the world wants your weird. Like that's actually what's going to make you money. It's going to make your mark and impact on the world. Like there's something weird about you, and it's what makes you special, and it's why you're on the planet, and it's what you're going to leverage when you go out in the world to do whatever it is that you're on the planet to do. And so I see it so much in middle school that people try to suppress that. I'm like, don't lose it. I know it's like maybe normal developmentally that you're going to like try to fit in the next 2 years, but like whatever that weird thing is that you have, keep flexing that and grow it because the world wants it.
And like same thing, like I feel like I like was always worried about like what other people thought about me. I was like, oh, like if I like don't run this race well, like people are going to think I'm a bad athlete and stuff like that. Like really, like no one cares. They're just like happy for you.
They like no one cares. They more are like just happy to celebrate you, and they're worried about one person, and it's because they're sitting over there thinking the exact same thing about themselves. They're like, what are people thinking about me? Like they're not thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves, and like what are people thinking about me? And so if everybody can remember that, I feel like it's like, oh yeah. It's the same with like my son going, I'm like, go up on stage and sing, man. Like nobody's going to remember after, 5 minutes. Like they're all thinking about whatever thing that's going on in their life. Like they'll be like, oh, that was cool. I can't believe you could do that. That was pretty neat. And then life will move on.
Yeah. Like you're not going to like, you're like, your friends are just there to like, and also like with being unique, you're like being unique in your own person, you're going to find your people that are also like you. And
if you're pretending, you were not going to find them. Like you're going to be with the wrong people.
Yeah. And then you're going to find those people and they're going to make you happy, which is something I think has happened to me, and I've like found my people, and I think it's really benefited me. Like they're just like my support group, and I know they like want the best for me. They're not going to like want my downfall. Like they're not going to like want me to fail. They're just there to like be happy for me. Like even if I do fail, they're there to like comfort me, make me like happier. Like they're not there. Like they don't care.
I mean, let's leave it on that, if you're with the right people, they want you to win, right? They're there to celebrate you and lift you up. So that's awesome. Great advice. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear about the Naval Academy. My fingers are crossed.
Thank you.
I am sure it's going to go fantastic, and you're going to go do awesome things. I can't wait to hear about it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. As always, thank you to my guests for taking the time to sit down and share their experience with us. A shout out to Hayes Browder, my son, for creating the original audio used in this episode. A huge thank you to the Granville Education Foundation. Their hard work and grant opportunities have made this podcast space available for my students, and I am incredibly grateful. Another shout out to all my listeners. In a content-rich world, I am humbled by those who take the time to hear the reflection, introspection, and advice offered inside these recordings. I truly believe this podcast has made me a better teacher, father, and overall human being. I hope you find that to be true as well. Until next time, be kind, be grateful, be you.